This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast presented by RVT Entertainment on Spotify.com, Spotify.com. Oh, yeah, there's a Spotify.com, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording it live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. This will not be the usual WrestleCast, because in just under 1 hour, talking Shop-A-Mania 2 happens.
Rise of the Torturer!
We're doing a ball for a ball match, brother. My name's Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm TWK of TWK Reviews. I'm here to entertain you, and please vote in that poll.
Oh, wait, there's a poll?
In the chat.
Who's winning the talking Shop-A-Mania 2? That is a good idea for a poll.
By the way, yes, I did have to censor Sex Fergus's name because
Twitch is being
Twitch.
approved again. Yeah. Anyway,
Chad Too Bad's winning. Chad Too Bad's winning, by God.
It's written by a ball, that's for sure. Anyway, so like I said, this will be a short show because at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this evening, at the moment of recording / doing this live show, it's going live. It's going to be on traditional pay-per-view and the Fight app, which is how I'm going to be watching the evening's festivities. It's $14.99, $15 US, $20.99 Canadian. And the first one was such a fucking hit that at this point, if you ain't buying that pay-per-view, you ain't buying that 90-minute to 2-hour, well, someone called it the jackass of wrestling. But it's talking shop, it's Sex Ferguson, Chad Too Bad, ball for a ball match. Something's wrong with you.
Let's not forget, we're getting a rematch between Chico Luchador versus Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, because Chico wants his win back. Chico. Anyway, so forget the whole structure we usually have this time around, because we have an hour, less than anyway, to get all this shit done. Plus, we got a pay-per-view to rate and review. So, oh boy. So no clips. We do have a stinger. No commercials, no fancy anything. This is literally we are the Sunday night heat for talking Shop-A-Mania, which is appropriate because we are indeed a shit show usually. So that helps. I think we're going to keep it gimmick at least. That being said, we do have to bring the room down a little bit because we have received some unfortunate news, not only today, but we do have and we will bring that up in a few seconds, of course. But it would be inappropriate of us to continue without at least acknowledging the passing of the legendary game show host and fellow Canadian, thank you, Alex Trebek. Why bring it up here? WrestleMania 7, anybody? Or was it 6? I think I might have got my wires crossed here. But he was at a WrestleMania, and this is one of those situations where, I mean, there's nothing much more that can be said by us, but that's been said by practically every person that's in media. So may he rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Now, the other piece of bad news. Literally hours ago, Zelena Vega released a tweet that read, quote, "I support unionization." 10 minutes later, WWE did a fuck up again. Or, they released Zelena Vega. Now, there's no way to prove or disprove that that tweet is the reason why she got shit canned so fucking quickly. But the timing is sus as fuck.
Yeah, from what I can tell after digging into this, she apparently was one of those people that did not want to give up her Twitch account.
And Vince, well, he dropped the ban hammer. Fuck you, Junior.
Yeah, it really seems like the only people brave enough to stand to Vince at the moment are Zelena Vega and Paige.
Paige would be, Zelena Vega will be better off in a different company anyway. Even if she gets picked up by AEW as part of the token one match at 9:30 on TNT gimmick, which is a shit gimmick, by the way, Tony. I'm sorry, Mr. TK. Let's be honest here. She'd be better off wrestling somewhere else. And Paige? Poor Paige. Poor Paige. Just.
Yeah, she's been through enough. She doesn't need WWE shit.
She doesn't need WWE shit. Keep streaming, girl. Fuck Vince. Fuck Vinny Jr. By the way, the poll is sitting at 75% Chad Too Bad, 25% Sex Ferguson for who's winning at Talkin' Shop-A-Mania 2. Polls in the chat for those who are interested if you're in the live show. No, there's nothing else to speculate. This is Vince McMahon being petty as fuck again. And obviously, this is new. We don't know if that's what, but it's obvious from what it looks like. It's Zelena was defiant, but we will once there's more information, it will be revealed, and we will obviously cover it, or we will at least discuss it in more detail next week. But just so you know, the timing sucks.
I'd like to note this tweet from Andrew Yang when he was asked about this just about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
His exact words, "I haven't forgotten about Vince McMahon."
See, folks, we're not going to get political because I know there's going to be at least one of you in there. Probably, the chances aren't very likely, but there will be one of you in there who wants to say that the Cheeto McFake president over there is thinking he's won when practically every outlet is saying, no, Biden.
Loser!
Jesus H. Christ. Not so fucking close to the mic, idiot. My God. Mop. Dave. Mop. Ow. We apologize for the
that close to my, I'm just that loud sometimes.
You forget. My ass, you forget.
No, I wasn't that close to my mic. I'm just that loud sometimes.
But yeah, loser. He's a loser. Loser. And a sore one at that. Anyway, that's our political topic because we've been avoiding that shit like the plague. But yeah, hey Vince, start lawyering up. You ain't winning anyway. But anyway, and what did No Plan McMahon do this time? Fired Zelena Vega. And the announcement literally happens 10 minutes after she tweets, "I support unionization." Yeah, Shane is going, You know what, Shin? In normal circumstances, I'd bring you in right now, but we got less than that. We got about what, 50 minutes a show. Ah, good idea. Good idea. Shin will be making the call. Good call. Keep us appraised of the call. Anyway, enough wasting time.
Full gear time.
What?
It's full gear time, baby.
Full gear time, baby. Let's do it. No clip, no nothing. We're jumping right into. Oh, he's calling Minoru Suzuki. Is Shin Tiger Curl in the chat? Good call. Oh, no. This is All Elite Wrestling's Full Gear. Jacksonville, Florida. Daly's place in attendance was a 1,000 person, which is just about how much they can hold safely anyway, I think. The buy rate is hitting about 100,000, but that is purported at this point. Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on the call. Devin the Great, the WWE roster is about to get smaller. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. The results are as follows. The pre-show had Serena Deeb defending the National Wrestling Alliance World's Women's Championship against Allison Kay by submission. She retains 10:25 the time. D-Dub?
This was quite a good match. Nice opener for the pre-show. And please sign Allison Kay. Sign her.
She is a veteran presence.
Sign her.
She is a veteran presence. We've talked about it last week. She is a veteran presence, and you need that for your women's division. They opened the pay-per-view with the Mad Lads with the World Title Eliminator Final. Kenny Omega over Adam Hangman Page. 16:25 that went. The story they told in that 16 and a half minutes.
And these two prove why they're among, pardon the pun, but they're among the elite for a reason. Because they are elite.
They are. And congratulations to Kenny Omega for getting into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Anyway, they continued. Yeah, I will say this is a great match. And again, Hangman Page, world champion in 5 years, or something's wrong with wrestling. Orange Cassidy defeated John Silver
Before we go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just want to make one note.
Yeah.
Because of his loss here, it looks like Hangman is finally joining Dark Order.
Yeah, and being the elite, they were saying, fuck Hangman, and Hangman shows up drinking a whiskey in the quote-unquote set of the Dark Order sketches on being the elite. Tease? Maybe.
Join Dark Order, Hangman. The Kool-Aid's perfect.
Hey, that's not Kool-Aid, that's Coke. It goes great with whiskey. Jack and Coke reference. Motorhead. Anyway, Darby Allin defeated.
Hold on.
Oh no, hold on. I skipped the match. Yeah, Orange Cassidy defeated John Silver, as I began to say. 9:40. This obviously will split audiences because it is Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy went over John Silver. I don't know how else to explain it. He got over.
Hell yeah. I mean, he's got one hell of a talent. Got to show off his charisma, as well as being a pint-sized powerhouse.
Guy's good, and he worked the match perfectly with Orange Cassidy. It was a nice, solid digestive for, palate cleanser. Great. Now
he's
talk
shorter
about...
than me.
Huh?
John Silver's shorter than me. He's 5'4".
And you're 5'5", right?
5'6".
5'6". He's a small boy. But this is AEW going, we don't care. If you're over, you're over. We'll strap the rocket on you and see if it sticks. And I think John Silver might be looking forward to some gold in 2021, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Darby Allin.
John Silver's going to be Darby Allin tap the little bitch that he will be in the future because nobody stands up to John Silver because he's the best. He's going to win in 10 seconds with a submission.
All right.
It's a wrong prediction.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Shin, we will get to that match of the night, believe me. He said to FTR Young Bucks, a love letter to 30 years of tag team wrestling. We'll get to that. Before we do, Darby Allin, Cody. Oh, wait. It's 17 minutes, AEW TNT Championship. And the former champion isn't just Cody, it's Cody Rhodes. It's official. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yes, he, even though the previous day during an interview, he's like, nah, just give me Cody. I like the way it sounds. Just Cody.
Again, trying to beat the predictable, but you know what? At this point, it's either, well, fuck, they figured it out, or, well, may as well go with it. They're gonna call me that anyway. Hey, it's not. They're not gonna. That's not gonna stop them. And you know what? Fair enough. Why are we taking time with Cody? Because with Cody Rhodes, why? Because, well, we're the rest of the thing will be focusing on Darby Allin and new TNT champion. Surprise roll up. This was 17 minutes of just good shit.
And this told a really good story of Cody just being too cocky for his own good. He grew arrogant. He got that championship. He just grows arrogant every time. He's like, don't worry, I got this in the bag. I can put this guy away whenever. But it turns out, nope.
Darby Allin caught him, out wrestled him just those 3 seconds. And before we continue to the next match, I gotta call bullshit on AEW. I know. Some of you are gonna be happy. It's a good heat getter for a Team Taz to come out, and I personally like it when you just leave it alone and say, you know what, we're going to build up the next feud on the next Dynamite. Give something for the next Dynamite. But Team Taz ruined the moment for Darby. They go over, they beat him up, they start a beat down, do Cage and Ricky Starks. And obviously the feud is now it's going to be Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin, which makes sense. But take that finish, that post-match beatdown, put it on Dynamite. Maybe not as much heat as you're getting now, but still as effective.
I could definitely see how you would think it'd be a bit much to be, put the beat down on when they had a perfectly nice little ending here for this pay-per-view match.
Yeah, because the idea is to build the star, make him feel like he is the big deal. When really you're just cutting it off and you're turning him into a Naito. I'm like, no. Darby Allin is not Naito. Naito is Naito. For those who get that reference, Naito got cut off of a celebration when he finally got those 2 belts at Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year. Just saying. I think it's a cock block moment. If you win a championship, you gotta be able to celebrate without storyline bullshit.
At least he got a few minutes, and you got Cody actually presenting him with the belt.
I think that was our way of trying to mitigate that, and you could spin that, and it will be in the long term it'll be fine, but in the short term, no, I disagree with the booking with the post match booking.
I can understand that.
And it's subjective. Not everyone's going to agree with that, and I absolutely understand. But it's pulling a wet blanket on something that does not need a wet blanket. You could have easily used that on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, what the fuck? Okay, whoever that lady is that cut Cody Rhodes' promo off. You're not that bad on the mic. You got a career, but what the fuck was that segment?
It's apparently all hyping up Shaq versus Cody, apparently.
Though a lot of people are not going to understand what Brandy is, but you know what? We need more promos of like what she cut on that on Jade. At the end of that, more fiery, pissed off Brandy Rhodes, please.
I'm just wondering, like, is Shaq even in any sort of physical shape to wrestle? Because He's got 2 real bad knees.
It's I don't know, man. Like
I know Big Show won the match with Shaq forever, but like at this
It's-
point, after all these years,
I don't get it either. I don't forgot to switch over to the main show thing. By the way, there we go. But
and yeah,
no,
JC points out Cody will literally be carrying that match. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
he will need to be at 100% and will be firing on all cylinders, or that match will bomb hard.
The only way that match works is if it's a tag match where he can just come in and do some spots and tag out. That's it. That's all he can really do. Either that or he's a manager.
You know what? Here's what I would do. If you want turn it into a tag match, but it's Jade brings over Team Taz. Like that with that segment. It's a Team Taz joint, and Taz went, you know what? Let me train Shaq. Let's see what happens there. I'm not saying it's going to work. It's just an idea at this point. And next up in the, hey, let's put in a women's championship match on pay-per-view at around 9:30. Guess when this match aired, or, you know, around the same time. Hikaru Shida defended the women's championship against Nyla Rose. Vicky Guerrero's at ringside, 14-10. Again, this is not a question of effort, because the effort was there. This was not a bad match per se.
Yeah, this is a really good match with some great psychology.
Yeah. But again, with the, hey, let's put it at 9:30 because that's where it works better. Is this a demographic thing, by the way?
I don't know.
Because it is getting annoying that we're only getting the one match, and it always gets at 9:30. You could set your clock by that segment at that point. And Shintai Curl, good match, just not feeling it. Yeah, same feeling. Same exact
It really
feeling.
is a shame because I feel like these women definitely made up for the lack of build. Like they
Yeah.
put in the effort that the build did not.
Someone get in there. Someone get someone to book just a women's match on the promise of at least 2 matches on Dynamite per week, and see what
And
happens.
constantly build towards the next women's match. And thankfully, there's going to be a lot of time between now and Revolution, which is in February.
Yeah. Oh, and Vicky Guerrero slapped Nyla Rose, but they didn't follow that shit up on Dynamite because, again, idiots in that particular department.
Yeah, it's a shame because it looks like, oh, is this going somewhere?
Should have.
No?
Should have.
We better find out this week then. We better find out what's going on this week.
Damn fucking right. Next up, the build was shit, folks, but it almost didn't matter. Bucks, Revival, AEW World Tag Team Championship, 28-35, and new Young Bucks get the belts. That, I don't know if it'll get match of the year for me, but it definitely got match of the night. You may speak. You're loud.
-5 stars!
What?
Bucks should have lost.
What?
They should have lost that way they create the new TNT Tag Team titles.
Oh, no. Okay, you're trolling. You're trolling now.
I mean, you saw it on this week's Being the Elite. They looked great.
I forgot we're supposed to be a funny thing, but I'm like, I almost want to Dave you now.
I mean, look, people in the chat, you saw those TNT Tag Team title designs that Nick Jackson made on this week's Being the Elite. Did they not look great?
Meh. And you know what? I'm willing to bet just to say, hey, we're going to win the tag belts anyway. Let's just fuck around. Which is what they usually do anyway. With like some scriptage anyway.
Getting into a more serious point, this is the best tag match of the year.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be. I'm not going to debate that tag team match. Number one match of the year, and this is in the same year as Bucks versus Omega and Page. That's saying something.
I think this just ekes it out for me because this is finally the Young Bucks becoming tag champions after waiting so long.
Satisfaction is what that was. That's what it was. We could go over the spots. I mean, they went over. It was as Shin said. This was FTR and the Bucks paying tribute to 30 plus years of tag team wrestling in that one match. Just the best way to put it.
And one thing to note, when they said Tully Blanchard was banned from ringside, he did not show up once.
No, he accompanied his tag team, and then the ref said, "Hey, you go fuck off, get out of here, get."
If this was WWE, they would have had him constantly showing up and interfering, despite being banned from ringside. You know it.
Because the producers are, "Oh, we could break the rules. We're fuckers."
There probably would have been a ref bump, and then Tully Blanchard would have run out and interfered in the match, but that did not happen here. It was just straight up, really excellent tag team match.
Yeah,
and it was
for you. I think this
it.
might be a tag team match, but there is some debate on to which one was better, and I think at that point it is strictly subjective.
100%.
But this was match of the night. We are not going to deny that. That was the match of the fucking night.
Also, props to Cash Wheeler for breaking his own rules and flipping when he should have been fisted.
That was chef kiss. That was poetic in its simplicity for that finish.
It's got level, right? When he flipped, that's what cost him the match. They could have had it. They could have had it, but just like with Cody, got too cocky, got too arrogant, and it cost him.
Or got too desperate. Because both teams were throwing bombs at each other, and neither team succumbed to that. They refused to go down, and Dax, he goes, "Oh shit, I may have to flip," and that's what cost him. It was strictly inspiration by desperation, and it cost him.
Also, I just love how I believe it was Nick that hit the super kick at the end.
Yep.
And he just sort of collapsed onto Cash Wheeler.
Again, beautiful. The short-term build-up hurt it, but it didn't matter in the end. They went out and wrestled for almost 30 minutes of awesomeness.
And I love the fact that we finally got a dream match that was years in the making that lived up to the expectations of that build for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because so often we wait for these dream matches and they disappoint.
Because it's usually outside of their primes, or it's usually in a situation where it's not optimized to take advantage of that buildup. This was, yes, the short-term buildup was garbage. I mean, I'll repeat it again till the end of time, but they took advantage. That match took advantage of some of the short-term build, but capitalized mostly on its long-term build. And both teams in their prime. That helps.
100%. 100%.
Yipper. Next up's, and now for something completely different. Matt Hardy defeats Sammy Guevara in the Elite Deletion match. 1939. Holy shit, Gangrel showed up.
Yeah, there was Gangrel, there was Hurricane.
Which surprised me. I thought it was a WWE guy, and then after I tweeted that on Saturday, I realized, oh, wait, he got released. He was one of the released people.
He was one of the producers that got released.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great, and they referenced the whole getting held hostage during Halloween gimmick in WWE all those years ago.
Yeah. They did. And JC, Elite Deletion was my favorite match of the night. You are definitely on one side of the bar, and the other side completely shat on that match. Personally, if this is the last cinematic match we get to see out of anybody, that's a solid finale right there.
This is the kind of stuff I've been waiting for when Matt Hardy was signed to AEW.
Yeah.
This is the exact kind of thing that people wanted the moment that pen went to paper.
You get the feeling you're slightly disappointed, though, because you were expecting a whole lot more wackiness than we got out of it.
It was definitely a lot more serious, but I feel like this feud definitely called for it.
Yeah.
Especially at the end when they had Sammy crack his head on the concrete.
Which, by the way they shot that, obviously this was pre-shot, and they made sure that it was absolutely the safest fucking bump they ever took in their life. Good call.
Yes, and the fact that there were still a couple of people that thought it was legit.
That's the secret sauce right there. If you could you could drop your disbelief just long enough to realize, because I knew it was like, okay, if they're gonna recreate it, they're gonna make sure it's safe, and I realized that this was gonna be safe enough, but they made it look so goddamn serious that it got awkward for a second.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Hardy murdered him with the chair.
Yeah.
And then after pinning him, put him in a trash bin, and had Senior Benjamin drive him off, which got a huge pop from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting Senior Benjamin to be that over.
We have loyal fans in that audience, let me tell you. Also, Senior Benjamin driving Guevara off, chef kiss. Nice.
Yeah, this is just really fun goofiness that I loved with a nice brutal ending.
That's pretty much what it needed. That's good. Let's never bring up this feud again.
Yes, let's put the cap on that feud, send it off, and
let's get MJF versus Sammy Guevara next, please.
It looks like that's what they're building towards.
Speaking of, Maxwell Jacob Freeman versus Chris Jericho. If MJF won, which he did, he would be allowed to join the Inner Circle, which he did on Wednesday. MJF over Chris Jericho 16-10. This was built as a heel versus heel match, but Jericho's over as fuck, and MJF is good at his fucking job. So
yeah, this is basically two people just trying to out-heel each other for almost 20 minutes.
And that's pretty much what it was. And MJF won via lying, cheating, and stealing. Almost pulled the Guerrero, but with the extra roll-up on top. Good call.
I like how when Chris Jericho showed up with the bat, MJF's like, all right, fine. Thump. Goes down on the ground. Referee turns over. Hey, wait a minute.
And I didn't do it. He was oh, God, roll up. 1, 2, 3. Pretty much.
Yeah, classic finish. I always love it. Always love a good Guerrero finish.
Yeah, and this does leave the door open for future matchups, which is fine. That's what we're building up here with. I get
and
the
of course,
feeling.
I would be remiss not to bring up that this is anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's death on this very day that we're recording.
Yeah, this
November
has been
13th.
November 13th.
It's now been 15 years. Jesus Christ.
I don't think there's a day that passes by where we feel like we miss that presence.
And it sometimes, I think, goes understated how good Eddie Guerrero really was, because, like, I really wish, like, if you've never watched an Eddie Guerrero match, do it. Go watch some Eddie.
Yeah.
Whether it's New Japan, WCW, ECW,
Hell,
WWE.
his last match ever versus Mr. Kennedy, that's it may not be the best match ever, but it's the stereotypical Eddie Guerrero match. Good work and a funny ass finish.
Yep, like there's so many, like his series of matches in ECW with Dean Malenko.
Classic.
That helped legitimize ECW as a pro wrestling brand, because they're always seen as like this blood and guts nonsense, but they also had on top of that great technical wrestlers, and that helped put that
Heyman
forward.
understood that yes, blood and guts will get people in the door, but what keeps them around? Good wrestling. And they
of
had
course,
plenty of both.
Numerous matches in WCW with various cruiserweights, especially Rey
Oh, yeah.
Mysterio.
They brought in Rey Mysterio and
of course-
Juventud Guerrera. You know, the
His ladder match was 6.
Kai and Tai. Someone's watching SmackDown.
My brother-in-law is. And brother Chelsea just debuted on SmackDown.
Ah, well, good for her. Also, I feel bad for her. All right, well, we may as well get to the main event here. Yes, I do miss Eddie Guerrero. I think we just heard that.
And lots of Eddie Guerrero matches.
Yeah.
Especially the last with 6. It was great.
Any tag match with Los Guerreros, too. The promos with Los Guerreros, when I'm thinking about it, too. And,
yeah, those promos literally turned them babyface before they debuted.
And in the main event of thine evening, Jon Moxley defeats Eddie Kingston in the I Quit match for the AEW World Title. Again, the story... By the way, before we continue, people taking a shit on Eddie Kingston's gear. Making it look like it's cheap Create a Pro thing. 1, fuck you. Pretty sure that's been said already. 2, fuck, I forgot the name.
Mitsuharu Misawa?
Mitsuharu Misawa. He's a big fan of Mitsuharu Misawa. And his gear was always green and white. There you go. There's the influence. Because I almost went with Kenta Kobashi, but that was wrong. I know that was wrong. But that's my brain not working right now. That's what it is. That's a derp.
And I'm really glad you enjoyed this match. Let's agree. I thought this match was going to be a bit bloodier, but it was still really good.
This was violent. This was the right pace of violent. Where, okay, the story of the match was literally, if you don't quit, you will suffer. And the suffering just escalated and escalated and escalated to a point where Jon Moxley was already thumbtack riddled. Yes, there were thumbtacks. And Eddie Kingston pulls out a bottle of rubbing alcohol. Yeah, and Shintai Curl in the chat, the rubbing alcohol was... That hurt. Yup. And JC, Eddie beat narrative convention. He used tax and wasn't the one to go on to them. Oh, but he suffered more. He suffered more.
Yeah, because he ended up getting a good old bit of wrapped barbed wire to the face.
Made him quit. I mean, a bulldog choke with barbed wire right in your mouth and face. That had to hurt like a motherfucker.
That's an ouchies.
Yep. And of course, at the end, when Jon Moxley's celebrating, Kenny Omega steps out. He says, not on the microphone, but he says, I don't want to step into that ring, which is still full of plunder. He just wants a regular match with Jon Moxley. Which
goes into his promo on this Wednesday where he said, he was asked about the rematch. He's like, what are you talking about? This is going to be our first ever match. I don't recall any other matches beforehand. It's not any record books that I've seen.
And for those wondering, well, it did happen at Full Gear last year. Shh. Unsanctioned.
Yep, they're keeping to that gimmick. It was an unsanctioned, which means it was a match that was not in the record books. Because if you look at their win-loss record before and after the match, it remained unchanged.
So Kenny Omega, they said, okay, no, all right, cool, non-sanctioned. It did not happen. And while unofficially there is photographic and videographic evidence that match did happen, it was never a true one-on-one wrestling match. So we're not robbed of that match just yet. In fact, it's going to happen in December. Holy shit. AEW will murder NXT that week.
I'll honestly be surprised if they do not. That show better do gangbuster numbers. I'm talking at least 900,000.
That is a pay-per-view quality matchup that they're advertising.
And I can only imagine that they're doing this match to get the belt off of Moxley, so that way he can go wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom.
It's the only thing that makes sense at this point because he needs to travel to Japan. because he's got the IWGP US title. He needs to either drop it or just keep defending it.
I'm guessing he would rather at least drop it in Japan rather
He
than
would
having
rather
to
take
vacate
he would
it.
rather take care of business and say, listen, this has been great. I appreciate it, but obviously with current circumstances withstanding, it just not make sense. But I'm willing to work. We'll pick a guy. We'll put the strap on him.
Right now, it looks like that guy is going to be Kenta.
Solid choice. I mean,
By the way, one thing that happened last week, I missed one New Japan show, and Jay White wins the briefcase from Ibushi.
how do you think I feel? I'm watching that match, and I'm like, okay, this is a solid match. Jay White wins. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Turns out New Japan's got 2 nights at the Dome again. So, Naito says, all right, fuck it. I'll defend it against both. I'll defend it against Jay White because he's a fucking prick. And I'll defend it against Kota Ibushi because he's a fucking prick. That's pretty much what Naito would say because he's Naito.
I want Ibushi to win both nights. Give him the gold. Give Ibushi the gold. It's his time. It's his time.
Here's what I would do. Naito wins night 1. Naito loses night 2 against Ibushi.
I know that's happening because Jay White literally said he's challenging on night 2.
Oh, so it would be Ibushi on night 1 and then night. Huh?
Yep, it'll be Ibushi on night 1 and then Jay White on night 2.
Yeah, because the briefcase says it's main event of night 2. Fair enough. That's why I derp. But yeah, you get the gist of it. It's like it's White on one night and then Ibushi on the other. It's pretty much what the schedule is. Tentatively, although things might change, though I think at this point we're past the point of, okay, that's it. This is what we're doing. It's locked in. But yes, going back to the night at hand, we gotta give a score here. A lot of people are giving 4 out of 5s, 5 out of 5s. I don't know. The women's match kind of drags it down, not by their own volition. But this was AEW's best pay-per-view all year.
4.5 out of 5 for me.
That's where I'm sitting too, because there are a couple of small things that keep it from getting 5 out of 5. But this is clearly AEW's best effort all year, at least on pay-per-view. All right, we got 10 minutes before we gotta wrap things up. How much news do you have? Because we covered Zelena Vega, but there is some news I know.
AEW's video game is being developed by
Yeah.
No Mercy and Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York's director.
So basically, they have to say No Mercy because they couldn't say WrestleMania 2000, which is the connoisseur's choice if you go by T-Dub. But No Mercy was the last of the North American THQ hockey games. So they went with that, and it makes sense. Marketing-wise, it just makes sense. But yeah, AEW, current gen and next gen video games with all the graphics. Although some people have been taking a dump on the graphics, we're not even in beta yet, guys. Calm down.
It's literally just test footage more than anything else.
This is literally, hey, this is what we can come up in 6 months. We're working on it.
It's literally just, hey, here's proof that we're actually working on a video game. Of course, they also have a phone GM game and a phone casino game.
So mobile games. So we're not going to be playing those two.
No.
Yeah.
But I am looking very much forward to the console release. I have full confidence because Yuke's has never really made a terrible game.
Yeah, and the games that they were along with 2K and THQ before the deal went out, that was more 2K than anything else. And anyone that's been around at the monastery up until a few months ago will know that myself and the boys do not have any feelings lost for 2K. On 2K.
No love lost for 2K whatsoever because they're part of that set of publishers that just like to fuck everything up.
Yeah. And Yuke's working with AEW. I wonder who the publisher is going to be, but we'll see.
And of course, the only thing, let's see, we also have the fact that Guess who's back? Back again. Pac is back. Tell your friends.
Pac is back. Pac is back. And Ollie Davis did the gimmick on Thursday. Yeah, we should probably bring up the main event, which was fucking solid in the first place. It was the rematch between Pentagon and Ray Phoenix, which was a solid match with Eddie Kingston in the background on commentary, just taking a shit on poor Ray Phoenix. Kayfabe, of course.
Yeah, this
Penta
is really,
wins.
to me.
Penta wins.
Yep.
He gets the hug. He gets the huggies from Eddie Kingston. Kingston kicks Ray out of the damn ring. And it's like, oh, okay, this is getting bad. This is getting bad. And then Pac comes back, and he's more livid than ever. And next week, Pac versus the Blade. I don't think we need to say anything else there. Just saying. Did I lose T-Dub? Oh, I don't think I did. Are we still live, pal? Yeah, we are. And Gut says they tore each other's masks off and I was so scared. It's like, I don't blame you. Push the button, T-Dub. Oh, would it be just nice? Technical difficulties, and we're about to be done here. That would be such a dick move by the internet provider. But well, no, I don't know about the mobile. I love the fact. Yeah, we're. Did we lose? Oh, no, there we go.
Matty.
Hey, you hear me?
Finally, you're talking into your gimmick. Your icon wasn't lighting up.
Yeah, well, mine was lit up. I've took off push to talk. I've been talking this
For a
entire
while,
time.
yours just wasn't lighting up at all on my end.
So it probably was an internet connection issue on your end. Internet
No,
dirt.
because I was able to go to the Twitch page and listen on to your end over there.
Ah, CTE smart. Anyway, but yeah, I'm big on the games. I love the fact that they went Steve Jobs on the gimmick, but all Kenny, Audrey, but yeah, it was Cody, and then Dr. Britt, all in Steve Jobs gear, turtlenecks, and all. You're expecting fanny packs at that point.
Gotta tell you, that's a lot of people willing to do the jobs.
Ah. Obvious pun, ladies and gentlemen. Obvious pun. But yeah, and there's a t-shirt, which is basic, but there will be people buying that shit, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't.
Right. By the way, Matty, how do you feel about Leon Ruff winning the North American title?
Surprising.
It's apparently, according to the backstage dirt sheets with extra Zeds,
Yeah.
all those Zeds, apparently it's supposed to be a comedy gimmick.
Fucking really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, oh, Johnny Gargano's title wins are cursed. Lols.
They are really getting desperate to get those to get that ratings pop, huh?
It's starting to make me sad because usually NXT usually has like really good television.
Hunter has restraint as a booker, or at least he's had it. No, this is a Vince McMahon product. You cannot convince me otherwise after that.
It definitely feels like one because that's usually a thing Vince McMahon does where he has somebody lose the title, then the person who wins the title is a complete joke, and then they end up losing the title like 3 weeks later or whatever.
Yeah, that's a Vince McMahon move. That's a junior move. Triple H has more restraint usually when booking NXT. This is unusual.
Yeah, very much so. It's definitely a little head scratching.
Yeah. I mean, good for Leon.
He's definitely a really good talent. I've seen a few of his matches. He's really good.
Good for him. And you will be in the record books as a WWE champion. That's something. Yeah, that's something. Take it and run it.
Yep, run with that as long as you can.
Yeah.
Milk that thing for whatever it's worth, Leon Ruff.
Yeah. Next. Actually, we got
That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's all you got? All right. So, yeah, I think because we covered Zelena Vega earlier. All right, let's do winners and losers then. Let's not waste more time than needed.
I'm just gonna make it simple. Loser, Junior. That's it. That's my loser, Junior.
Yeah, Vince McMahon Jr. WWE I have on here because, and I put it in as just the default. You're a permanent until you redeem my respect, which they haven't yet. But the Zelena Vega thing, obviously this could have been handled better. But Zelena Vega has either WWE has shit timing or Zelena Vega has excellent fucking timing.
Or maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe. But WWE just looks like absolute dog shit after this week, and that's obviously a low bar now. Winners.
My winner this week is going to be Zelena Vega for wherever she ends up, because she is now going to be a hot commodity.
She will be. I don't know if she's a veteran presence, but she's a great manager, or she's a great valet. She's a great talker, and she's a gamer chick. Tick, tick, tick.
Indeed, of course, I'm also going to give my winner to Kenny Omega for resuming his role as the cleaner. I think he's going to go full cleaner against Mr. Jon Moxley.
That's going to be something to watch on December 2nd. You believe me. AEW gets a winner, obviously. For Full Gear in general, that was a solid. And the Bunkhouse match on Wednesday. Solid effort by everybody. Darby Allin, new TNT champion. John Silver over like Rover, and Pac is back. Yes. Kingston versus Pac. Book the shit out of it.
Also, one thing I wanted to say was great babyface turns for Pac and Phoenix in one night. Well done.
Yeah. Golf clap is deserved by AEW. They still need to figure out their women's division, but god damn, everything else still firing. It's firing on all cylinders. And no, I'm not going to give that segment with Cody the loser. I think at this point it's more of an oddity than anything else. And
it's more just what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, this is okay. It's a head scratcher. It's a rare dud, but I'm not going to give the loser to that because at this point we don't know where it's going yet. We hear Shaq. There's people. It's a discombobulated fucking mess at this point. But it's a far cry better than WWE right now. And the segment gets a pass because Brandy Rhodes just laid it on thick on Jade at the end of that promo. At the end of that segment, I'm like, oh God. Yeah. Note to self: never piss off Brandy Rhodes. ... ever. Tina, we got the thing. We got Vinges.
Yeah, I'm working on a video right now. I'm working on my video review of Yakuza Like a Dragon. Should be up on my Patreon by the end of the weekend. So look forward to it then.
Excellent. If you wanted earlier than usual, put patreon.com/TWK reviews. I got my stuff, my tip jar, paypal.me/Matty Jay 316. Emails, questions, and the like, you can send at thewrestlecast@gmail.com. We will read your questions while we wait for other questions to our chat. We couldn't get them tonight because obvious reasons. You can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316 at TWK Official. And if we have a Discord, it's in the chat or it's in the description. There is a Discord link. I'm around. It's fairly obvious. If you're a subscriber to our Twitch channel, we do Sub Tuesdays. And, we're busy. We help, I help the Shanes with that. Or you can listen to T-Dub do his thing with Shane Tiger Curl. By the way, Shin, We're gonna talk on Tuesday. I got a proposition for you. Just saying. But until then, we thank you very much for talking to us this evening. We apologize for the shortness, but the reason is very simple. We want you to go to the Fight app or fight.tv and order Talkin' Shop-A-Mania 2 for $14.99 US, $20.99 Canadian, because it's independent wrestling, and what the fuck am I about to say? Plus, it's Sex Ferguson. Come on. We thank you very much for tuning in, all that good stuff. We got about 5 minutes to get it done. My name's Matt, but actually, before I do anything else, I gotta say goodbye to this guy. I gotta let this guy say goodbye.
Until next time, this is TWK of TWK Reviews. Time to work your gimmick. Let's get to Talkin' Shop-A-Mania, baby!
Let's do it. My name's Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. Talkin' Shop-A-Mania, Fight.tv. Enjoy it, folks. And if you're allowed to, have a brew. They recommend it, but drink responsibly. Bye, everybody, and you're jealous of that. Bye.
Blast him. Ow! Oh! Ow! 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 Come on, hey! There you go. Hey! Hey! Come on, don't give up now!
Too bad!
Don't give up!
Too bad, you Petey Pie motherfucker! You see what I'm putting myself through? You fucking wiener! I'm gonna rip your balls off, then you're just gonna have little dangling wieners, all you're gonna have left. I'm gonna do it in ball for a ball match. I'm gonna do it at Talkin' Shop-A-Mania 2, Friday, November the 13th, live on pay-per-view and iPay-per-view via the Fight app. Where you can pre-order now.
Come on! Come on! Jesus